when I can smell something from one wine and we're tasting several, I can then start to smell it in everything. So I have to wait.
Good evening, Daryl, and good evening to all you wine lovers in Tashkent, Uzbekistan, and the rest of the world. We have Christmas time, and we have also New Year's Eve ahead for the ones who are not celebrating Christmas Eve. So what's better than to enjoy a really nice bottle of champagne for such an event, for such a great event? And there is one recommendation from my side here. It's a producer that I know since many years, and the company is called Tarlant, and this is their prestige Cuee. So they call it Cuee Louis, because that was obviously the founder of this producer. And this is actually coming from the best vineyards, and they're all located in Eulies, and Eulies is a Grand Cru village. That means a small area dedicated just to produce Grand Cru wines. And it's made out of 50% Pinot Noir and 50% Chardonnay. So the most important and most famous grape varieties being in use for champagne production. And what is the special thing with this one? Not only that it is quite a costly thing, but that's why it is really for this kind of events that I just mentioned. We talk about $125, $150 for this one bottle. So that's definitely not your everyday wine, right? But the special thing is it is the ultimate complexity that you can get and that you can have in a bottle of champagne. And that's why we need to taste that. What is the special thing here? We have here wines that are the basis for the production of this champagne, and they are from the vintage 2004 and 2005. So it's a classic no vintage wine. So it means it's a cuvée from several vintages, but they were on the lease for a very, very long time, so close to 20 years. And this way, they add up a lot of complexity other than with any other type and style of champagne. So we are really here already at the very top end. Of course, it is a matter of taste, but this is something that if you look at this color, for instance, right, it's bright and golden. If you look at the mousse here, you see it's very, very fine and refined. And then even a simpler taste, even from this height of the glass, I get out plenty of aromas. And there is a lot of bread dolls, there is brioche, but there are also very fresh ingredients here. I get here really lemon, I get lemon zest, I get here a little bit of cherry, raspberry, and I get minerality, so whetstone ingredients, something like this. So very, very complex already from the start. And even the nose, it's already creamy to me. I already see that this will be a very creamy, it means a really complicated textured wine.
I was ready to drink it, but I thought I would wait for you.
Yeah, do this. Well, I can't wait. And this is really, really, really great. Absolutely great. For a wine of this complexity, by the way, drinking temperature can be slightly higher than with a normal sparkling wine. So it could be really already at 9 to 10 degrees. This can easily stand it, because then you have this complex aromas coming really through, as we have it now in our glass. This fine mousse, this full body. I still feel it and taste it here, right? So long lasting aftertaste, mouth filling, a huge complexity, a quite bright body, but not because of the alcohol, because of the overall balance of this sensational wine. Yeah, this is something that requires food. I would definitely hate to have this just on its own, although you can do so, of course, but this is easily a nice wine. For instance, this evening with two of us, because we are celebrating a little bit, and we will have salmon this evening, and this will definitely
Go well with that.
very good together with that. So I'm already looking forward. Yeah, I hope that you can have a chance one time to have such a wine here in this country. Unfortunately, I had to import it from Germany. There are for sure not that many sources to get hold of a bottle like this. And I hope that one day we will have a wine like this here in this nice, friendly country. So if you have a chance to get one of this bottle, then yes, I strongly recommend to go for it.
I would hazard a guess this would probably cost you about $250 here.
Most probably yes. Most probably yes. So this will not be euro, and of course also not our everyday wine. That goes for sure. This is a wine to celebrate. But we are coming there, and the year comes to an end. So a perfect time, and our last minute recommendation for the ones who want something special.
Okay. Happy New Year in advance.
Happy New Year to you, and enjoy. Cheers.
Cheers.
Unbelievable. Unbelievable.
Really, I should smile person, man.
Wow. So that has a more or less steamy acidity that you have in the glass here, right? So really high acidity for a Chardonnay, which is not a high acidity grape variety, but here you really have it because it's full of this mineralic influence that because of this very chalky soil, the Coteau Chardonnay is really famous for.
It smells quite metallic. You
Yes, exactly. This is what you have in there, right? So we subsumize that in the sommelier language as whetstones, for instance.
Whetstone. Oh, which you use
Whetstones.
Nice.
Yeah, I mean, it's bullshit anyway, but how should you describe that? That's the problem.
Yeah.
Whetstones have no taste, of course.
Yes.
But you have an imagination probably what it could be. Because the other word that is, nobody likes would be minerality, but you can also not taste minerality because the minerals don't taste. But you have something that is hard to describe, and that's why in the sommelier language we try to find words for it, because this is far away from just fruit, right?
Yeah.
It's far away from that, far away. But the fruit is there. It's lime, it's lemon zest, it's all there. You have brioche as well. You have it here because it was also long on its own lease. So you have it there.
But the problem I've got, when I can smell something from one wine and we're tasting several, I can then start to smell it in everything. So I have to worry, is it me?
Yeah,
or
because
is it
it's
really
so.
there?
But here it's really intensive. So here it would not be. I would not wonder that you have it lower in your nose because it's really intensive. I have it from here already. That's highly intensive in the nose. Okay. Keep it in the mouth for a few seconds before let it go, because this fills your mouth completely, right?
That would go with a creamy curry. I can almost taste
even go with that. Absolutely. This requires really a tasty food. So I would not have this with a trout or something, because there is nothing left from the trout if you have it. But with the salmon, it will work because the salmon has a strong taste. So this will work.
It's obviously not there, but I can literally smell coconut.
Yeah, coconut. Very good. Very good.
It's got that creaminess to it.
Absolutely, coconut. That comes also from the woods.
Mm.
You have also nuts in there. Definitely hazelnuts, I would say.
Actually, that's exactly what I can taste.
Very, very, very mouth-filling, very strong. How much alcohol do we have? This is supposed to be quite high in alcohol. 13.5%. So it's, of course, higher, but it's not that high.
It's more than I was expecting, actually.
Yeah. So this is really, white wine giant. Absolutely a white wine giant. Well, no doubt.
Can I be rude and ask how much is this one?
When I bought it, this was $150.
And when was that roughly?
That was 2015, I guess.
Oh my goodness. So it developed substantially, I reckon.
So you buy nowadays, the 2020 is on release right now already for $250. So the price went considerably up. And no doubt there is much more demand than supply for wines like this.
So you bought this wine and you've had it with you for 10 years.
I had it with me. It was in my cellar for the last decade almost.
Okay. Yes. And do you have to do anything particularly careful when you're storing this type of wine for a decade?
It has to be in this position, so it needs to lay, and so that the cork is getting liquid access to the liquids inside, and it needs to be dark, and the temperature needs to be consistent, and it should be not that high, of course. So it should be in my cellar. It's 12 degrees, and that's fine actually for white wines. That's not exactly drinking temperature, but it's a temperature which is very good for storage. Mm-hmm. And of course, it needs to be dark. Very important. So because there is always the danger of light strike.
Okay.
And a wine like this needs to age. It is supposed and it is produced to age. And this is still very, very young. So I keep 2 more bottles of this. And one thing goes for sure, I will not open the next bottle before the next 3, 4, 5 years. Mm-hmm. Because you have to follow the development of such an excellent wine. This, for me, is still young. It has still a very young, very fruity mouth feeling, and this will expand. This will gain complexity. This is easy for me to taste. I know already this will become even more complex within the next 5, 6, 7 years.
And you only got one of this one left?
2.
You got 2 left?
2 more of them left. That's the first one out of 3 that I'm opening. Uh-huh. Because I said, okay, it's now already time to try the first one.
So I'm quite privileged. Happy days.
Absolutely. Yeah. Where does this come from? This comes from the vineyards, the famous vineyard called Chardonnay in Burgundy, produced by famous producer Anthony Gossion, a big family and famous in Burgundy called Louis Chardonnay. The owners are Americans, by the way, since a couple of decades already. But they have a very, very high reputation. So they are belonging to the top producers. And that's probably one of the few chances for me to get hold of such a bottle, because it can be considerably more expensive than what I paid for this one. So today you find easily wines from this vineyard already at a 4-digit figure, right? Easily. And therefore this is definitely out of reach for me. But this one I could really get hold of, and I'm very, very happy that I took the chance when I had it. And it's of course Chardonnay that we are talking of, as it is normal in Burgundy for white wines. And nothing else is produced on this vineyard called Chardonnay. There is of course part of this area just Coteau. If it is called Coteau, then it's a red wine. Then it's Pinot Noir. So they grow both varieties on this hill. It's supposed to be roughly 120, 140 hectares in total. That would probably end up with a couple of 100,000 bottles of production only, because what is very important to have such a high quality here, it's of course important that you have low yields. So that means you want to have just perfect grapes, and everything else you cut off during the growing area, the growing season. You want to have just the perfect grapes out of this. This is why they are, of course, also very expensive. Louis Chateau as a negociant is buying the grapes, and they buy grapes of highest quality. So a kilogram of these grapes could easily be 35, 40 euros. And then you can already imagine you need a couple of kilos for production of one of these bottles here. They are aged and matured in new barrique vessels. That is also costly. They are easily between 1,200 and 1,400 euro nowadays. Probably for this one, it was already at least 1,000 euros for a cask. And it holds just 225 liters. So we talk about the production of 300 bottles of this wine only with one of these casks. You can imagine this is also adding up 4 or 5 euro a bottle already. It has, of course, a very age-worthy, high-quality cork. This one was one of the most expensive ones on the market.
It was actually
very, very long cork.
Yeah.
Right. That's easily €1.25 already per bottle.
So that's €6 already.
So we have already quite
without the wine.
Plus then the wine, right? The grapes. And everything else that you have, all the workload of all the people who are involved in all this. So definitely this cannot be a €5 wine. That's for sure. Yeah, and why do they do all this workload? Because this is a wine which is very, very famous. It's world famous, one of the 2 big Grand Cru vineyards in Burgundy, the most famous vineyard for Chardonnay in the world. We can definitely say that. Everybody who likes Chardonnay, who likes complex white wines, is hunting for wines like this, and they are made in the highest possible quality. That means they are made to age.
And this is still en route. You said you would have preferred to have waited 5 or 6 years.
Yes, right? Absolutely, and definitely, I would say even still more or less, it tasted like it would be at the beginning of its involvement.
Right. So really, this is perfection in the making.
Yes, we have here almost no aromas coming by aging, almost none. So it's very, very much fruit driven still, but always at this vineyard Coteau Charlemagne, because it's a very chalky soil, which is adding complexity on its own. So we have this. We don't like these words, minerality, whetstones aroma, which is very, very typical. So we have not only fruit, we have a lot of this zesty aromas, a lot of this aromas which are coming from the toasting of the wet vessel, and of course much more these whetstone aromas, candied fruit even. So it's really unbelievably complex, and yeah, you have this already in your nose. If you just take it 1 second, it's very, very intensive and complex. And then on the palate, it's really adding up, and it's very, very, very long. So it lasts, this goes on for half a minute minimum, if not longer.
I would, on Facebook, where it talks about your marital status, and it says it's complicated.
Yeah.
That's exactly how I feel with managing this wine.
Definitely, that's what it is. That's what it is. So the only thing where we could see probably a little bit from aging is the color, because it really starts to become golden, and it's much, much lighter at the beginning of the aging process. But we are very, very early, and no doubt the acidity is still very high. That means
my stomach is a little bit empty, and I can feel the acidicness.
We definitely have to work on that later on. But one thing goes for sure, this is supposed to age, and it will be brilliantly aging another 2 decades easily, without any doubt. So this will be, I will hope that I can stand it that long, to wait at least another 5-6 years to open the second bottle, and then hopefully another 5, if not 10 years to open the third one. It will be, a dream coming true in the glass.
We've only got 2 left.
Good. Yeah. So this is definitely supposed to be a wine for a special event. And if you are going for, yes, very tasty, strong fish, like salmon, for instance, or you go for white meat, everything from chicken upwards, even stronger. White meat would work easily with this one if it's strong in taste, because this bottle can really, really take it. Of course, you can easily have it on its own. And then, of course, it goes very well with very intensive and complex cheeses, especially the ones coming from Burgundy. Burgundy is producing very, very nice and very intensive cheeses, and that this wine, of course, can cope with it. Most of the white wines cannot cope with it, but this one definitely can. So an absolute dream to combine this with Burgundy cheese.
This wouldn't overpower anything. You know what I mean?
Very, very hardly. Very, very hardly. This is something that's almost not to be expected, I would say.
Yeah, definitely.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely. Yeah. Enjoy your new year, and looking forward to have you soon here on one of our next videos.
Absolutely. Salute.
Salute.
As they say.